The gate was $2 million. Fight of the night, Holloway Poirier, Gastelum Adesanya. So 2 fights of the night. Congratulations, they all won 50 grand, as they should have. That's it.
Crowned 2 new interim champions tonight in pretty incredible fights.
That was for all the idiots that don't like interim champions. The championships, there you go.
Can you give us your thoughts both on Poirier and Adesanya? I mean, what you thought of each of their performances and just kind of what you thought of them as your new champions?
Gastelum Adesanya is one of the greatest fights I've ever seen in my life. And the main event, Max Holloway is so tough and such a dog. Looked like he was out in the first round. He comes back. It ends up being a 5-round fight, back and forth. Amazing, incredible fight. I always wanted to see how he would do at 155. And what's crazy, what I didn't expect, is he looked small at 155. So I look forward to him going back to 145.
I was going to ask what you thought, because he did look. I mean, he looked healthy and he certainly competed well at 155. But do you think? I mean, have you talked to him, and do you think him going back to 145 and defeating his title?
We took him straight from the octagon to the hospital. That's why he's not doing it. I told my guys, I don't want him doing any interviews or anything. Take him straight to the hospital. He's tough. He's awesome, but I'd like to see him at 145 pounds again. Poirier looked much bigger than him.
He did.
In my opinion.
Dustin, you completed the journey as promised. I imagine, but give us an idea what the emotion is like to finally have that UFC belt up there.
Man, I can't put it into words. I thought about it every night since the fight was announced. I thought about it before that, but it feels even better than I thought it was going to feel because I earned every step of the way. It's just not that these other guys don't. I just know what I had to go through to get it, the ups and downs. It feels amazing, man.
Yeah, were you surprised at Max's durability? He took some heavy shots from you.
Yeah, I was surprised I hurt him that quickly in the first, and it looked like his legs were definitely gone. He took a couple steps back and started wobbling. I've seen a lot of Max's fights. I've never seen him really hurt like that. So I went a little crazy trying to put him away, which has got me in trouble in past fights. But the guy's so tough, man. This was my 40th fight tonight, and there's only been 2 fights that my hands, they're going to be swollen and hurting tomorrow. There was a Gaethje fight and now Max.
What do you think for Poirier? Khabib said that he'd like to see him in September for a title unifier. I mean, is the unifier next? Does that make sense?
Yes, that's the fight. Poirier will fight Khabib next, probably in September.
Just last thing, since you mentioned Tony Ferguson there, he was saying that he's been cleared, he's ready to go. He called out Dustin tonight. Do you have any plans for Tony? Is he ready to fight? Are you ready to book him?
I don't know if Tony's ready to fight. I don't know if that's absolutely accurate because we haven't had anybody evaluate him yet. But this was his fight. This was supposed to be him and Max tonight. This was his fight. He turned it down. And we've made it very clear that the winner of this fight, just like Israel and Kelvin, would fight for the title. So that's the deal. Unless something happens to Dustin Poirier, he gets hurt or gets injured or something happens, he's got the fight. We didn't announce that, did we? Then I don't know. We'll see.
How did you score the main event? Because Khabib was online. He said he had a draw. Did you think it was pretty clear for Dustin?
Yeah, I think Dustin won the fight. I'm going to tell you that Israel Adesanya Kelvin Gastelum fight kicked my ass. I was like exhausted after that fight, and I started trying to watch the next fight, and I didn't really score it, But I had Dustin winning the fight.
Yeah, And on the opposite side of the coin, Dustin Poirier has had to take the long road. His 22nd UFC fight, the only person who's had more before getting a belt was Bisping. I think it was 26. I mean, what have you made of his journey, his ups and downs, and then finally he gets to this point?
Yeah, some guys have the Israel Adesanya path and the Conor McGregor path, and some have the Poirier path. You know, if you look, I don't remember what the numbers were, but Chuck Liddell had to go through that same thing, and then Tito wouldn't fight him. And there's been a lot of guys who have, Tony Ferguson had a lot of, look at the bad luck that guy's had. You know what I mean? And the list goes on and on. Some people it works out for, and some people have longer roads. Poirier has stayed the path and trained hard and done what he's had to do to get here. And tonight was his night. He fought an incredible fighter, and he won.
Khabib did tweet out that he thought the fight was a draw. That's how he scored it. Was there any doubt in your mind that you got the win when the 5th round ended?
I didn't know. My boxing coach told me coming into the 5th round when I was sitting on the stool, he said, if you go out there and win this round, you're the world champion. So my corner obviously had me either tied there or ahead, and I won the 5th round, I feel like. But I didn't know. You know, when you're in a fight like that and you're getting hurt and you're hurting him back and forth, there's blood everywhere. It's up, it's down. I don't know. I don't know who was winning the rounds.
Tell me, what went through your mind after you hitting him so hard, so many times, and the guy, it was fighting like nothing happened to him?
I thought I was going to put him away a few times. And, you know, he didn't get on the bicycle. He walked forward when he was hurt and crowded me and made it hard for me to hit him. And he hit me with shots. The guy's a warrior. I knew I was in a dogfight. After each round, going back to my corner, I was just thinking how this fight's insane. You know, I'm hurt. He's hurt. He's spitting blood, you know, and I have nothing bad to say about Max at all. You know, he's still the champ.
A lot's been made about Max moving up in weight. I just wanted to know, did he feel like a lightweight in there? I think people were surprised that you actually look bigger than him.
Did I look bigger than him?
Yeah.
I am a lightweight. You know, I probably was. I don't know what Max came in tonight, but I probably was a few pounds heavier than him. He's a big guy, though. You know, he gets heavy. The athletic commission wouldn't let him cut the rest of the weight for Khabib. So he's a big guy. In the clinch, he was slick technically with elbows and short shots. I didn't feel a whole lot of strength there, but when I got in on his legs on the wall, his underhooks, his whizzer, his hips, his legs, and hips are very strong. I felt the strength there.
Yeah, I don't know what more could be said about Gastelum and Adesanya. Incredible fight, but it looked like 4th round, that fight might get stopped at one point. Also in the 5th round, did you think it might get stopped at one point? Did you think it was?
Yeah, I mean, during the fight, they were both hurt during that fight, and both guys came back and fought through it. And you know, I was interested in seeing Israel tonight against a guy who hits as hard as Kelvin, and I honestly thought wrestling was going to play a bigger factor in that fight than it did. You know, Kelvin came out banging with him right from him. Kelvin looked great in that first round. He had Israel off balance and was like beating him to the punch. Then Israel came out, adjusted in the 2nd round, and it was on. I mean, from that 2nd round, that fight was back and forth, and I thought that Kelvin would wrestle a lot more, at least attempt to wrestle or shoot, and try to make Israel at least gun shy and changing his levels and everything. But he just came out and banged with him, and I was impressed that when he did try to shoot, how Israel, he took Israel down that one time. Israel got him in a triangle. He had his neck at one point, and it was great, man. I mean, it's seriously one of the greatest fights I've ever seen.
In Israel, obviously, he'll have the unifier with Whitaker, I imagine, next.
Yeah.
Too early to say whether or not that could happen in Australia. I mean, I know that's tough.
We were going to do that fight here. I wanted that fight in the United States. We're definitely not doing that fight in the United States. That fight's going to Australia. It will be massive in Australia.
Any idea when it'll take place?
No, we gotta figure all that stuff out. I just put my guys on that tonight. That's their homework for this weekend. Get us an arena and stadium, not an arena, a stadium in Australia.
We know Whitaker's going to be next, and Dana just said it's going to be in Australia. Give us an idea how that makes you feel, and when do you think you'll be ready to fight again? And obviously you suffered some damage tonight.
I got some Botox, but yeah, it could be in Australia, but Auckland I think is a viable option as well, and we can push back and forth because he is a born Kiwi boy. He's a Muslim. He's representing Australia, but when I'll be ready again, he says August. I say let me go shower first. I like my showers after a fight because, like I said, this is where I get my alone time and I get to be alone with my thoughts and really soak everything in. And I've got a bigger shower this time because I got the suite, so I can actually like lie down and just meditate and think about everything that's just transpired. And yeah, we'll go from there. So right now everything's still fresh. Yeah, I want to be able to just close my mouth properly, and then we'll see.
I'm just curious, how big do you think the Robert Whittaker fight can be?
One of the biggest sporting events in Australasian history, in Oceanic history. And look, he's injury prone. That's the problem. I don't know what they're doing over there at their trainings or whatever, but I mean, even that triangle, I had that triangle nicely tight, but I had to sweep him because I hurt my knee during the camp, and I don't always talk shit about, you know, like what I did, because everyone goes in there banged up. He was probably banged up going into that fight as well with something, but as he was trying to escape, it was tight, and I locked it in. Then, oh fuck, it just started to hurt me a little bit, so I swept him and I was trying to drop some bows because we in the ATL. But then, yeah, he got out and I stuffed his head and got back up, and I just kept on pushing. And I just knew that 5th round, man, I found something deep. I found like another level. I've been there in training before, but I found another level of just that darkness. And Brad Riddell, but whenever we're training, he says, go numb. He just says, go numb, embrace the darkness, make it your friend. And that's what I was thinking. And I just like, we're gonna die right here, you and me. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of scary to say, but I was willing. I was like, look, if he takes me out, he takes me out, but I'm willing to die right here. So yeah, all those people saying I can't take a shot, I mean, come on, he couldn't even put me away. But he's a tough dude, and I don't think he's been dropped that many times in a fight before. So yeah, first time for everything.